I'm not hosting this, remember?
Yeah. All right, so I'm hosting this, remember? Yeah, Untitled Discussions According to Us. I think that's the title.
Episode 1.
That's kind of a good title. Untitled Discussions According to Us. There it is.
What's the acronym of that? Fucking you
You should call this free beer because people will click on that. They'll be like, "Oh, free beer." I'm clicking that.
Hey, that actually might have to be it. There we go.
I would definitely click on that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's how this came to be.
It was free beer.
Yeah. You put up a back page ad, free beer, and here we are.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Free beer.
Yeah, we had. You were telling me interesting Daily Spice stories.
Which one?
All of them. About your history with Daily Spice.
Oh, you want me to, that's okay. We're going right into the meat of it. Okay.
That's how you got me on cigars, you know. Tables turn.
Yeah. So I have this YouTube channel called Ruin Your Day, and it started off literally because there's a battle with Mad Flex and Psychosis where G Money. Do you guys know him?
G Money?
Yeah, Lush's homie.
I don't know him, but yeah.
You know of him.
Yeah, you know the one of him in San Jose with the dude battling.
Oh, where he almost gets in a fight?
Yes.
That one? Yeah, I've seen
So my whole entire fucking channel started because of that.
Oh, shit.
Because I was looking at that and I was like, man, this is so hilarious. Wouldn't it be funny just to like pick out little pieces in battle rap that only I find funny? There's so many, like that one where he almost starts the fight and then he takes his glasses off and just goes like in the dude's face, and Lush of all people is like, come on man, come on, stop. Like that's always diffusing the fight. And then another one of my favorite ones was during Thesaurus John at Battle of the Bay 6. Thesaurus has some line like, I'm a tight ass round like a Cinnabon, and some fat dude goes, that's delicious.
Oh yeah, that was the night me and Big K battle. I remember.
Yeah.
That's delicious, and you see him in the back, like on the left. That's delicious.
On the actual battle edit, I zoomed in on his face in the battle. Serious. And I remember when he said that, I was standing literally right next to him, like filming the secondary angle, and I was laughing because I was like, and he was like. Like, did not find it funny. He's like, what the fuck? It is fucking tasty. It's a tasty treat.
So good.
But anyway, so I was doing the whole Daily Spice thing, and I was uploading battles that I necessarily didn't own the rights to, and I would link the battle in the description, like, oh, if you want to watch the full battle, this is from, click here. So we ended up uploading this battle where young Nate from the Northwest pocket checks this rapper that he's battling, and not only the person he's battling, but his whole fucking crew. He's like, pocket check, and then so obviously once he does two of them, you kind of get the idea of where he's going with this, and his friend sees that he's about to pocket check him, and before he can pocket check him, the dude pushes him really fucking hard, and he's still in the midst of saying pocket check, so his voice cracks. He's like, pocket and then after he gets pushed, you can tell he's like, oh shit, I'm supposed to get mad now. And then he's like, oh homie, fuck you. And then starts like trying to get at him, but like somebody jumps in the middle and starts breaking him up, and he basically tries to fight this fool, and the guy is like looking at him, and he's like, what did you expect? What did you expect to happen? Yeah, word, exactly. Like, don't fucking touch me. Anyways, I uploaded that, and it got uploaded to our cringe. Oh, yeah, which a lot of our like Daily Spices, they're like cringeworthy weird moments that people outside of battles would kind of be like, oh, that's weird.
I've been on that subreddit before.
Yeah. So that it kind of took off on there. Like a couple of our videos kind of got a lot of views on there, like 30K, which is a lot for our channel.
Yeah, no, that's good though. That's still good.
And so that content was owned by AHAD. So OD, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I remember hearing about this.
Yeah, he put out some blog saying that he's gonna fight me, and and I didn't like. Robo of all people hits me up. He's like, "Yo, you got beef with OD, man? Why is he going in on you?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I get home, watch the video. He's like, "Yo, you're taking money off my kid's plate," because he thought we were stealing views from the battle.
Right.
And yeah, it was just this whole like misunderstanding. And I called him up and I'm like, look, I'm not trying to divert from the battle. If anything, the battle's linked in the description, so it should divert more people to it.
Exactly. And how much do they really generate? Like YouTube views don't generate that much anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah. He just viewed it as stealing, which I mean, I can understand his point of view. It was just the way it was handled was so outrageous. He was like gonna fight me. He's like, yo, I know where the bunker is, and I was just like, damn, dude, this fool is like gonna go in. But so I called him up. I was just like, listen, man, like I'm not trying to like steal views from your battle. All I'm trying to do is highlight funny things that happen in the battle. He's like, yeah, well, you know, the link isn't anywhere. And I was like, oh, that was my mistake, blah, blah, blah. Well, he put a strike on our channel, unfortunately. So that's why we haven't done any Daily Spices since.
Why do fools want to blog before they like call somebody or like it's not he could easily get your number.
He didn't have my number, and then it's like once I hit him up, it was like all cool and it was like totally fine. He was like, oh yeah, I understand that, man. You seem like a nice guy, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm not trying to like steal anything from you.
I'm not trying I'm gonna jack this battle.
Young Nate battled only in Olympia when we were on tour as like the last tour date or something, like in the little thing we were doing.
Was that outside at night?
No, it was inside, but it's just all black background. This is like maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and Young Nate pocket checked only in it, and only is like not like he like obviously is like didn't do anything, but then instantly, because it's towards the end of his round or whatever, he had some line, I'm gonna butcher it, but I thought it was hella creative. You seen it? Because only was like something, I don't know the rhyme exactly, but it's essentially like something fitted fluid, something, all I got is a knife in my pocket, so if you want it, I could give it to you. Like something like that. Like that's clever. It's a good little flip. But yeah, it was a
pocket checking is the dumbest thing in battle rap to me, or not the dumbest thing, but it's like you're not doing. No one's actually reached in and jacked somebody.
And furthermore, outside of that, like it's not, it's outside of where it stemmed from. Like, you know, Sharon pocket checking DNA is like that's not impressive because you don't even understand what it fucking means in the first place. And it's like well,
even before that, it was like Suge fucking pocket checking fools. But shit, like like that was the first time I seen it. Like, but he's like a big guy, and it has a lot of weight because it's like realistic, and it like comes from that place.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's appropriate where it is. Yeah, when he pocket checked Bill, that's what you're talking about, right? When he pocket checked Bill Collector.
Was that the first one?
I feel like that was the first one I remember.
That's the one I remember it being cool at least, where it was like, oh, that works, you know, with what you're trying to do.
That to Suge or whatever. Didn't he do that to
Suge? Suge pocket checked him, and Sharon dropped his water bottle like when he was getting pocket checked. He was like, oh!
I think I'm not gonna call it a pocket check anymore. I'm gonna call it a pocket, outer pocket tap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's an
outer pocket tap.
Leg caress. Upper thigh caress. What's up?
That's crazy.
I like the idea of Daily Spice because there's so many things for me watching battles like that give replay value to battles that's outside of the performance. Like people's reactions in the front row or even behind. Like once you've seen a certain battle, like a good battle, you can let you watch it multiple times, but then you start to notice like certain things crowd members are doing or whatever, head ice in the topper, thesaurus shit, this fool in me versus thesaurus, or
Marv and fucking Quest versus Ice. I fucking love Marv. He's just like, and then like he's cheering so fucking. I was like, woo! Like Ric Flair the whole time.
That's hilarious. Hey, dude, it's easy to get hyped in those situations too, though. You know,
the energy is definitely different than fucking watching the shit.
It's like
being there. It's like this fool's gotten hella criticism from like battles and like even Team Backpack ciphers of his reactions, because like when. Like, we talked about this shit, like the eat the gas face, like, ugh. Like in Ether, my favorite The ether, my favorite
Someone tell the guy
comment.
in the red jacket
Yeah,
stop shaking his head after everyone Illmac.
Yeah, well, not only that.
He's spitting bars. You should appreciate it.
My favorite was like somebody, because you were like rocking all polo or whatever, but it was like somebody said you looked like the dad from American Dad. Yeah, like in the golfing version or whatever the fuck. It was hella on point for the ether event.
Dog, that Head Ice and Topper versus Thesaurus. I was talking to Greg earlier about this. There's a part where Topper is like, oh, like some fascist prick like Megadeth, and everybody's kind of cheering. He's like, but I'm not Megadeth. And then when he says that, I'm not Megadeth, Head Ice goes, you're right. Like, you're right. I know who that is. You're not him.
That's so good.
So fucking awesome.
Yeah. In the Mad Flex battle,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey and Ephraim. Say stuff.
That's someone's kid. Yeah, he goes wild.
His ad libs are pretty on point.
What was the first battle that happened in? Solomon and
the Dam
and Ines?
Damn.
Oh, or Conceited.
Which,
What was the first crazy crowd?
Conceited was probably up there, like me and Conceited. Like,
the barking dude. Oh no, before that was the yellow shirt guy.
Yeah, and one of the jungle battle, yeah?
the jungle battle.
Yeah.
Which I wish that fool would come back, but that shit adds to the battle in my opinion. That's why I flew out the damn Grizzlemania 2 cat. I flew him out. I forgot. I think it's Marcus. Like I think,
For the Enes.
For the Enes versus B Magic battle, I flew him out. I was like, hey, do you want to come out and just watch this battle and hype up the crowd? And he was like, you know it. Like he's like, oh, I'm bored. And I was like, I kind of was bummed because I thought he was gonna be at the whole event, hyping up the whole event, because that's what he did at Grizzlemania 2. He was like fucking going off, and we kind of thought he was annoying at first. But then when you see the footage, you're like, man, he really made a difference. Like that's fucking awesome. Yeah. But he only came for Ines's battle, which he still contributed so much to it. Yeah, I don't know. He was cool. He had the barking dude. Yeah. Arsenal's pretty tight when he gets lit. Eat him, yeah. I feel like there's somebody else. XI used to be cool back in the day. Towel, he would like whip this towel around.
His like bro stuff. He was wasn't he at the Topper battle?
Yeah, he was, and he was getting outshined by Ice. That was so funny because I was like, oh man, the student becomes the teacher. Like like seeing Ice outshine him.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
XI, like I think at one of the first battle of the bays I went to, I think. Actually, it was 4 when I didn't battle. Didn't like Low Pesci and Real Deal or something, or Tantrum battle at 4? Oh, that was 5. I just remember being by XI for like a few battles, and him just like shaking me multiple times, like I was like, hey,
he'll cover his face.
Yeah.
He does that shit too.
Classic.
Yeah. That fool fucking punched me in the balls so goddamn hard when I went to that event. He was like doing the old bro thing, like like ball punching me. I was like, is that a thing? We're fucking adults. We're both over 30 and you're still doing this? And it hurt so bad. Like he like straight up like hit my balls, like, and I was like, ugh! I got like the nauseous feeling. I like went to the bathroom and like looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, you can get through this. Yeah, it was fucking rough. And I remember looking at him like, what the fuck? He was like, I didn't hit you that hard.
He's like, that's some white shit.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, that's just some white shit.
You like that Hawaiian shirt, white boy? You like that I was down? Like, you'd be like, yeah.
You were basically asking for it.
Yeah, walked in with that on.
I don't know, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the last I remember is like middle school, like crotch combat.
I don't think I ever played that.
No, but you would just get caught random. It was like open chest. You ever do an open chest? No. I didn't voluntarily do it either. But if you're just walking down the hallway and someone just sock you in the chest and be like, open chest, so you have to be like...
In your school?
Walking the hallway.
Or maybe I was just getting picked on and I didn't know it. I thought it was a game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I thought it was a game.
I just always, the only games I knew was like quarters, you know.
Where you have to like, if you fuck up, you have to flay your shit. Yeah. And then blood. I played that for a while. Yeah.
Hey,
I fucked up my knuckles from quarters.
my dad like is just a grimy older timer, like not old guy by his age by a parent standards, but just comes from a different generation. But I was playing Bloody Knuckles and got like at school and got my shit fucked up like 6th grade or something, and came home, he's like, yeah, he beat you at Bloody Knuckles. Well, we'll practice then. And like he started playing Bloody Knuckles. He's like, well, ask him if he wants to play Erasers. And I'm like, what the fuck is Erasers? And he's all, my dad's like completely serious. And I did it, is the funny thing. But he's like, you take, an eraser, whether it be a pencil. He goes, and you just erase your skin, and you both do it until one of you stops.
Oh my God.
And like, I definitely just like fucked my shit up doing that. And then like, I remember vividly one time the guy who got me at brass knuckles like at lunchtime or whatever, I was like, Erasers, and he was like, all right, and I just had a scab already, and I go, all right, and I just rubbed my scab off first thing and start bleeding, and he just instantly stopped. And I like got sent to the principal's office or something, and they're like, is everything all right at home?
Oh
like,
my God.
are you having bad thoughts? Like that? And I was like, nah.
Fuck, that's gnarly as shit.
Erasers, that's next level shit.
You just erase yourself.
Oh my God.
Rub off later.
Wonder what's the farthest that's ever gotten. Like, you know what I mean? Like the world's worst eraser game. Like somebody just like, I erased my whole fucking left arm off.
Cartoons where it's just, the body parts disappear.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That might be the most nutty one. There's some stupid ass games that fucking play when you're little though.
You get older, you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
My dad was totally the guy to like not be like, you shouldn't do that. He'd be like, you gotta get him back. And encourage me to do something more fucked up and self-destructive.
Amazing. The knowledge your dad is like passing to you, like, be a warrior, win at any cost.
Oh, he bloodied your knuckles, bloody your own arm. Worse.
Exactly. Cut yours first.
Yeah, that's young parents. The crack era. Shout out to the crack era.
Dude, my dad, when if I ever like got in like confrontation, I would come home and like talk to him about it. He'd be like, all right, what you do is you look like he's teaching me how to fight or something. And he's like, my dad's like from Brooklyn. He like played basketball, so he like thinks he's like rough every now and then. He's like, look over off in the distance, and when he looks over, you fucking punch him in the throat as hard as you can. Teaching me how to sucker punch a kid in the fucking throat, basically kill somebody.
Go for the jugular.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just about to swallow because I thought he was going to tell you to say some like intimidating shit. Like, you look off in the distance. And then when he looks, he just fucking
punch with the fucking throat.
Nah, yeah, my dad was totally the type where if I came home beat up, like I had to justify why I got beat up, or like I would.
Well, what
get
if
in
you say
trouble,
like I won the fight?
And he's like, hell yeah. That's my kid. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then, drink a beer and like work 60 hours a week.
Oh, I thought you were saying like drink a beer, like he gives you a beer. That's my kid. Here, on the house.
This is you, kid. You earned it.
Yeah.
Pour some tussin on it and get over it.
Damn.
That's funny. I don't think my dad's ever been as proud as me as when I got thrown in the drunk tank for being drunk in public. I remember you.
Well, how old were you?
This was recently. I mean, not recently. This was
last week.
Yeah, no. This was like
fuck yeah, it's my boy.
6 years ago. Like I remember, throughout my whole life, my dad has been super supportive. But like I remember calling him. I'm like, yeah, last night I went to jail, and he's like, ha, what? That was hilarious. And then I told him, he's like, haha, you're crazy. And then my brother told me he like hung up and like busted in the room. He's like, Kyle went to jail last night. Pretty fucking sweet.
That's hilarious.
He's like more proud than like anything you've accomplished.
Yeah,
in
word.
film.
Yeah.
He's like,
but when I was drunk in public,
finally.
Yeah, exactly. He's a man.
I've never been to jail. But my brother and my sister both went to jail. I never got arrested before.
Yeah.
You did.
Damn, under the bus. It's DJ Vlad over here.
Hey, you said a line about it somewhere. So you put it out there before I did.
Put it out.
No, yeah, my dad just told, like, I definitely got my ass whooped for one thing. Like, I'm actually like hyped that I came up in the generation I did, because like we seen the fucking analog, like playing in a stick in the backyard, playing with a stick in the backyard, as opposed to just like phone shit. But then, you know, getting like seeing the digital era, you know, usher in and cell phones and shit. But I also came from the era where it wasn't a taboo to fucking get your ass whooped for being out of line. Like we used, like I had 3 siblings and we used to still have, but we like.
Wait, so you have 3. You have a brother and 2 sisters, right?
Yeah. And it used to be a thing where it's like, it was so overwhelming to take us in public where it was like group punishment, where it's like, all right, you know the deal, we're going out to eat at, like, I don't know, like Tony Roma's or Sizzler or something. Like, yeah, it's like, it's like, oh, you know, family night, we're going to go out. Yeah. But if any of you get out of line, you all get a SWAT, and we count them out all night. So it'd be like, well, you might stop at the store and we'd be in an aisle and like my little sister would grab something and they'd be like, 1. Be like, oh, stop. And then like get home, it's like we all get however many SWATs any one of us accumulated. Like, you know, it's just like a running count. If one of us got in trouble, we all got in trouble. Yeah. And that was to like get us to mine each other essentially, you know, because there's just too much shit going on. Yeah. But we went through all different fucking types of discipline. Like once it was like, all right, these ass whoopings aren't going through. It's like an exercise phase where everything was like push-ups or like standing, like squatting against a wall, holding a chair in front of you until you dropped it, and then you got a SWAT if you dropped. Interesting. Like, I can. That's. You know, I'm like, if I have a kid, I'm gonna beat him a little bit, you know?
Toughen him up.
Give him some wherewithal.
Yeah, at least push him down the stairs when he's still inside the womb.
You know, classic.
Yeah, you know, traditional.
Yeah, exactly. You never got. Were you?
By my parents? Yeah, I got hit around for sure. I never like anything too serious, but I have a funny story about that. One time I was like being a total prick when I was like fucking a teenager. Like I was like being an asshole to my mom, and my dad threw a fucking fork at me at the dinner table, like, and like a goddamn ninja. I like blocked it, but it like stuck in my hand. I don't know. I still don't know how he threw it, and I like ran off. And then I like go into my room and fucking put on Wu-Tang or something, like a typical like white rebel, like, like I'm gonna listen to rap in my room, Dad. Fuck you. So I go off. Yeah, I'm like trying to take it out, but I go to my room and my dad comes in. He's like, "How many holes are there?" I'm like, "2," and he gives me $20.
It's like $10 a hole.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, I should have said 4.
I know exactly. 500 holes.
He has 40 in his pocket, but you know what I mean? Yeah. It's all right.
He's like, oh, it's just 20. A salad fork. All right, cool.
We'll do 10 per prong. All right.
That's good.
And I think one time I was like being an asshole at the dinner table. I don't know why I was always a jerk there, but my dad threw a fucking stool at me, and I was like, he like got up like he was gonna hit me, and I fucking ran off, and he took this stool and like fucking like threw it at me, and luckily the padded part hit me in the back as I was going down the stairs, like but it was like, yeah, I remember how like gnarly it was. My dad was like frightening. One time he like was arguing with me at the dinner table, and he fucking went like that, and it broke
Why were all
a plate.
Your problems?
I don't know. Maybe it's just what I remember. He like broke a plate, like he's like yeah, he like fucking broke it and shattered it, and like as soon as he did that, my little brother Kipling started crying. He's like, ah! Because he was like so afraid of my dad. Yeah, I don't know.
So how many siblings do you? Two?
2 brothers.
Two younger brothers? Or?
Yeah, 2 younger brothers, both taller than me. I got like the small gene in the family.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
But I can still whoop their ass. I can still beat the shit out of them.
You just have to display dominance early and imprint it in their mind, and then they just know that they can't fuck with you after that, even if they can.
Exactly.
I've done that, trust me. Yeah, my little brother could put hands on me if he only knew. But I just imprinted it in the right moments to where he's like, mentally, I could never beat him up.
Of course.
Speaking of, though, like, getting, the stool thing, like, I remember one of the most traumatic things was, like, my mom. Do you remember Gator Golf? It was like the little miniature, like plastic golf thing you would hit. So I had that, but I'm like just getting to the age of fucking, like, I'm just getting to the age of like, I don't know, I'm too big for spankings, you know? And like my mom is like 4'10", and like, and I'm like, I'm bigger than my mom, like, I'm cool on spankings,
Would she ever try to discipline
you know?
And you would like block her? Just like, oh, this isn't really working.
See, not up until this point, because it was always like, I had friends that I would go see, like, you know, I hate to say it, but it's like white friends that are like, bitch, to their mom shit, and I'm like, what? And they just be like, oh, whatever, and I'm like, totally. Yo, that, I couldn't get away with that. Like, my parents split up since I was 3, but I couldn't get away with that with my stepmom, or my, like, I'm getting the hands put on me. I'm like, that's insane to me. But I remember when I was like, I don't know, I was probably like 12 or something, 30, I was like, man, I'm way too big to get spanked. I don't know what the problem was, what led up to this, but my mom went to spank me. And I remember I was like sharing a room with my brother who I'm 8 years older than, and we have bunk beds of all things. And she's like, I'm gonna spank you. I was like, all right. She spanks me, and I remember just don't react in my head, and I don't react. And on the last spank, I go, ha, ha, ha. That didn't even hurt. And just looked at her hella serious. Yeah. And then I just seen like my mom's like pupils go black, and her like the all that was good and motherly about her leave, and I just seen this demon, and then like in slow motion, her reach to the nearest thing, which was a Gator golf club, which is essentially just a plastic golf club. It's kind of thick though, but like this long, that was on my floor or whatever. And it was no longer about whipping my ass. It was just about like, and I was like me, like in the fetal position, like my bad, like And then like, you know, I wasn't like super fucked up about it. It was just like traumatic, and it put me back in my place. I was super out of line. I deserved it. But then I remember just being like, I hate you. You're not my friend. I'm gonna call dad. She's like, you damn right. I'm not your friend. I'm your fucking mom. Like, you better respect. And I was like, ooh. Call my dad like as if I was gonna get, you know, and he's like, well, what'd you do? I told him. He's like, well, deal with it. Like, that's you. I would have whooped your ass way harder. Deal with it. Be thankful. Stupid though. That's probably one of the worst, but it wasn't even that bad. But it was just traumatic. As a kid. I was just, it was like them like testing your boundary little times, you know.
Yeah, it's funny when you're a kid, like how strong you think your dad is. Like I remember, like my dad smacked me one time, and I was like, I flew across the room when he hit me, like, and like flew, and I just remember being like, holy fuck, this guy is like the strongest man in the world, you know, and how like scared you are of him.
I still like, I don't know, I still like have that feeling about my dad, oddly enough, and my mom, my mom's a small woman, like a small brown woman, and but like I've seen her beat up a guy, or like yes, like so.
Fuck yes, this is a story.
That's crazy.
She's a feisty one, you know, off the drink. But long story short, I seen the beginning of it, but my brother, like, night of drinking with their friends, whatever, and my brother, like, ultimately my brother just told me about it. I seen him getting like rowdy or whatever, a guy with my stepdad like wrestling around. Next thing I know, my brother's like running down and getting me, like, what's going on? And ultimately, like, he opened the front door like to go outside because he heard a ruckus, and my mom was on, like, straddled like on top of a full grown man, just bah, 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 and like he opened the door and she looked back and he's like, he closed it, and she just like fucked this fool up. Like a good sized man, like that's your size bigger. Like guy was, I didn't like him anyway, and that's the last time he ever came to the house. But
my dad could still whip my ass. Like I never really had that, like, it, like I might remember maybe once or twice of him hitting me, but never actually with it, only with an object, like maybe with a belt or something else. But he could definitely still whip my ass though, for sure. Like that's just that man strength. Like they got years on you, so it's like that you can't, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no lie, like I look at my dad still like that, because I know, like, he's had a crazy. My dad came from a crazy era, like from like a lot of drug use, and then like being the guy to like collect for the dealer type shit just for drugs, and then like I remember we're about to lose the house type shit, like when I was in high school, and he like he had brought it up multiple times, and I worked at this place when I ended up dropping out, but like my dad has for like 20-something years worked at an aluminum extrusion plant. It's like a steel mill essentially, and there's like this Mexican dude Rafael, like this dude who like basically was like did underground fighting, and like my dad had fought at work like on some random shit, and the dude was like, you should come like do this underground fighting thing that's totally illegal and crazy, and I was like, nah, but we're about to lose the house like cause of debt, and it's like $5,000 debt, and it's like on some movie shit where he went and did like a tournament or whatever because this dude, and it was like it was $10,000 or whatever the fuck. And like the only like I seen the paperwork of we're gonna lose the house, and then my dad was talking about doing it. I didn't go, but I was like, nah, you know, whatever. I'm a little like in high school, like you don't need to do that. We'll figure it out. Yeah. And then like him coming home, like kind of busted up jaw, and then like lifting up, he like had a cracked rib. All his like rib, like this was just all black. Yeah. But he's like, we're not gonna lose the house. And this time he's like like knocking on 40, you know, like and he's like, oh, I was just fighting young cats, you know. He's like, but as long as I didn't let him hit my chin, that's my weak spot. Yeah. He's like, that's why my body's just being beat up, and he like fought like whatever, like 4 dudes or whatever, and won like this money, so we didn't lose the house.
That's crazy. That really is like some movie shit.
Yeah, straight up Rocky over here.
I'm like, my dad, I will never, I'm like, man, I will never fuck with my dad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I don't know. Legend. fucking legend. Blood sport.
My dad just recently got in a fight at a football game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, at a Patriots-Broncos game. One of his homeboys that he was with, one of his friends that he was with, there was like these cats from Boston, and they were like, you know, being loud, obnoxious, like Patriots fans. And one of his friends like told him to shut the fuck up, and they like got into it or whatever. So then my dad had to join too. And these are kids. They're like 23. My dad's like fucking 69. Yeah, word. And my dad was like, he told me he like grabbed this guy and like pushed him against the wall, and the dude was like, stop. And then my dad just was like, man, like punched him in the face once, and then went back to blocking him, and he's like, I fucking got him once though. That's all that matters. He just probably didn't even need to do it. He's just like, fuck you, really fast. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my dad's like, my parents were young too. They're like 17 and 18 or something, or 18 and 19 when they had me, you know, so still got some youth about them. Yeah, but
I think my parents were in their mid-30s, early 30s, maybe early 30s. Actually,
you have older siblings.
Actually, no, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. No. They're in their like later 20s, like mid to late 20s.
But you have older siblings.
Because I think I remember. No. Remy's the youngest.
Oh yeah.
My older brother 2 years, and my sister Remy's. My brother Leon's 2 years older, and Remy's 2 years younger. No. I think they were maybe like 25 or 6 when the first was, maybe like 28 or 9 when they had me, probably. Because I remember my mom was 35, I think, when we moved to Australia, or excuse me, when we moved from Australia, and I was about 9, so it was like somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wait, are you supposed to say Australia?
Nah,
Australia?
Well, see, here's the thing. All right, so look, yeah. Technically, well, there really is no technically. It's how you pronounce it. But an Australian would say Australia.
Australia.
Right, that's how an Aussie would say it.
Not Australia.
Nah, they'd say Australia. And which gets even shorter because Australians abbreviate. So it really just sounds like, you know, I'm from Australia. So it's that just gets a little shorter, you know. But the funny thing is so someone with that accent would say that, but a funny story is one time, because I'm from Melbourne, but sometimes I say Melbourne because I have a fucking American accent. I'm at this party, right, and this guy had just came from Australia, and he was like mad high horse about it and shit. And I say Melbourne, and he goes, actually it's Melbourne, and I'm like, look, bro, I have an American accent. I know it's fucking Melbourne, but I have an American accent.
Yeah.
I was like, so if I want to say that, cool. It was like, but I actually am from there. Like, I got a fucking citizenship there. Like, I was born there. Like, don't tell me how to pronounce it's. Because I'm saying it with the accent, you know what I mean? That's still not the wrong way to pronounce it, because just how, like, you know, there's other weird words. Like, Australians say aluminium for aluminum, or, you know, you go everywhere and they pronounce different shit, you know what I mean? But fucking, it was just funny to me because he was, like, mad pretentious about it. Like, it's actually, I've been there. You're like, I'm like, me too, buddy.
I was in a nutsack there. What about you? No, what's funny is when I went and battled Cursor and Manas and Defron.
All those performances are really fucking crazy.
In Australia.
Manas one was the best.
That's my favorite.
And those other ones I like to do.
There's a side story about that too, like how one of those rounds wasn't for him, and I used one of my rounds for him with Defron.
Wasn't some shit for Arsenal?
Yeah, my second round against Defron about weed and shit, I originally wrote when we were talking about Arsenal, and I used other shit for, like, in other battles, because it was, like, a long time in the... Okay, but my point is, tying into that is, where I was in Australia for those battles, and in Melbourne, we're, like, at... we're my homie was Sperm out there, I know.
My homie Sperm.
But we're like at a mall, like food court, and Cool Nuts was with me. My manager at the time was traveling, and he goes up. We order fries, chips, or whatever, and he's like, "Can I get some ketchup?" And the dude, like, hella pretentiously is like, "It's tomato sauce." He's like, "All right, can I get some tomato sauce?" And he's like, "It's tomato sauce." And it's like, do you want this fool who obviously has an American accent to be like, "Yeah, hey, let me get some fries and some tomato sauce"? Like, that's way more awkward. Like, you're asking me to take on your accent, not say a word differently.
I think it just means that people are fucking pretentious everywhere.
It's true. It's true.
That's why I clown somebody for no reason.
Yeah, like, oh, this fucking guy.
Dog, dude, that reminds me of a story. Fucking, do you know Maple Leaf, Chris?
Yeah.
He was telling me.
Chicago, actually, when I was on tour.
Yeah, he used to live out there. He lives in New Orleans now, and he's been posting, like, fucking photos of Mardi Gras. I'm just like, fucking so. Have you been to New Orleans before?
Dude, New Orleans is the shit. I went there for the first time last year on tour.
Oh my God.
I had a blast.
It's so fucking fun.
Yep, I had a good
Drinking and fucking public changes everything.
Yeah, I was on that. I was on the whole time.
So fucking awesome. Anyways, Maple Leaf at Battle of the Bay 5 goes to that pizza joint. I think it was Domino's by the Oakland Metro. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Right at the corner that everybody kind of goes to after. No, Nations is a burger place. There's like a Domino's pizza that he walks into, and it's kind of one of those ones that there's no seats. It's like you order it and then just fucking leave.
Yeah.
So he goes in there, and Arsenal's trying to order a pizza, but he's saying pie. He's like, "Get me a large pepperoni pie." And the woman's like, "Sir, we don't sell pies here." And he's like, "Get me a fucking pie. Your Domino's." And then he's like arguing with her about getting a pie. And she's like, "We have no pies."
Oh my God.
Because, you know, on the East Coast, it's like a pie.
Say pop for soda, like that type of shit.
Damn, so we don't have any desserts. We don't have
Also, a fucking funny thing about that is that they finally like reach an agreement in their communication. Like, "Oh, pizza. Oh," and then she's like, "Okay, large pepperoni pie." Okay, and she's like, "So what name? What's your name?" And he's like, "Arsenal."
She's like, "We don't have arsenals out here." Like, what?
So awesome. So fucking awesome. Ars is the fucking man, though. Fucking love that guy.
Some of those things wish they were documented. Like that van. Like that van ride.
Talking about the van ride.
Oh, that shit's legendary.
From the Bodied.
Fuck, I so wish it was filmed,
the
bro.
Bodied movie.
Yeah, dude. I was dude.
By the water.
Dude, yeah, it was so good. Just the whole car ride was funny as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Even while we were waiting for Lux and like just all in the van, just in the parking lot waiting.
Me, Penn, Hollow, Lux, Illmac, and
I swear there's one other person who's
God.
Well, the dude HBY or whatever, he was the driver, Mike.
He was driving.
He's the fucking shit.
And then,
he knows everything about battle rap.
Yeah, he has a crazy ass reference. When
he's
he'll bring up a battle, he'll be able to quote. Because I could quote pretty well. My retention's good, but that fool will know rounds. You know.
You know what's a crazy story about him? His father is the producer of Exorcist.
Really?
Yeah, and his father produced this movie called Roar. And it came out in the 80s. It's the movie. It might have changed. The statistic might have changed now, but at the time it had the most injuries out of any movie because it's a movie about lions and they used wild lions.
Did they fuck people up?
A guy almost died. Like a lion scalped somebody on set, and like tons of actors and actresses quit because they were just like so deathly afraid of working this movie. Yeah. So and that's his dad. He made that film.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I heard about that van ride.
Yeah, dude, it's so hilarious, bro.
Yeah. Honestly, there should have been more documentation. I feel kind of like I fucked up. I should have done something, but I was like planning it was the Big K Cortez event was around that time, so it was like knee deep in that bullshit.
Right.
And there was like tons of other fucking bad shit happening at the time, but I should have like done something with all those people in town. It's like, dude, Smack, Lux, fucking Hollow, like even them three. It's like, dude, when am I gonna ever
get them in the same place?
Yeah, word, exactly. And then like riding in a car with you, Pete, you, and fucking Michael, and then like fucking Kid Twist, and then Sharon and Pat. It's just like, fuck, dude. That's like I could have done something cool with that.
Right.
Yeah, you fucked up, man.
Fucked up, man. Yeah.
Now we're in Chase's studio. Talking about what could have been.
Yeah. I should have done something. I should have ran that touchdown at Richmond High.
Yeah, I just remember having a conversation where Lux was, we're in the van and he's talking about Whole Foods. But with like a boyish, wonder of the world, like somebody who just, I don't know, like discovered something. Like it was like, oh yeah, like organic things. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like going on a tangent about Whole Foods and how there's one in Harlem now and shit. I'm like, oh yeah. So we get in there. So we start talking about Whole Foods. And I'm like talking about my favorite little snacks and whatnot, Terra chips or whatever, you know. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, Whole Foods, you know about? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And then somehow got on he's like brought up like smart water, and I'm like, yeah, but the bottled water industry is fucked up. And then we start talking about like,
nah, but when you say that, he was so intrigued by that, like, wait, what? And then Ilm schools him on it, and Lux is he's so like. He's into it, you know what I mean? Like this.
I was on a rant though. I was like talking about like fluoridated water and like municipal water, like and how like most, statistically, a lot of bottled waters have more bacteria than faucet water because it's like a certain amount of consumer responsibility, whereas a municipal, so I'm like we're talking about this shit and like I was like talking about like Portland, I'm like we voted down fluoride in our water, which is like one of the major city, like the biggest cities that voted that down, and I was talking about whatever. We're on a deep long tangent about water, and like there's like 2 seconds or a couple of seconds of just quiet. Like it's like
it ended the conversation.
And Hollow, who in the front seat, was quiet the entire time, and then just like there's a dead.
But Lux first, the way that he says to you like. So the small water ain't good?
And I'm like, nah. I'm like, that's not even alkaline. That's not even,
and that's what.
So the small water ain't good.
Yeah, it got magnesium chloride.
Yeah, and then Hollow chimes in. Got magnesium chloride in it. Facing forward, like in front of us in the front seat. We're in the van, and he doesn't even look back. It's got magnesium chloride in it. Don't drink it. Why does water need ingredients?
Why does water need ingredients? Dog.
Dead. I was dead.
It was fucking really funny, bro.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
It was just so random. It was just so. It was the hilarious randomness.
Harlem Whole Foods giving organic bread out. I was like remixing, like in front of Lux. I was like remixing Lux lines about Whole Foods.
The kale chips.
He was hilarious. That was
I was just doing my Lux impressions in front of but about geeking off of Whole Foods.
Well, you know, New York City actually has the best water in the country, right?
Really?
Yep. Best tap water.
They're fucking with Oregon?
City. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Damn, Oregon's like been up there for
Really?
for I know there was a couple years at least.
Yeah.
Tap
up
water in
there,
Sacramento is actually pretty good.
Really?
Yeah,
New
but you
York's-
know what? Dude, my first memory though of coming to America is how gross the water was, because in Australia they
It's
have
good?
super good water and filtration, and I literally remember going to LAX and it tasted like a swimming pool. It was like
Oh, yeah.
but that's like literally my first memory of America. Is
That's
how
funny.
gross the tap water was in LA. You know?
Yeah, LA is
It was crazy. It was like
I don't know.
I was drinking some other shit.
I fuck with tap water. I drink tap. My girl has like the Brita fucking filter or whatever, and I'm just like, nah, say pour tap water, toss it back.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever, it's making me stronger. Like I look at it that way. I'm like, I'm becoming a superhero. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll drink it if I have to.
if I calcify my third eye, no.
word. If the spider bites me, I'll become Spider-Man. That's my whole thought process.
Fluoride, man.
Yeah, water man.
That's dope. There isn't a water man. Yeah.
Aquaman.
Yeah. Waterman's like the PC.
Alright,
Man, they need Captain,
I'm out.
They need Captain Fluoride now for sure.
Speaking of which, dog, did you see the fucking Justice League trailer?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. How does Aquaman become a badass all of a sudden? Like when I watched that trailer, I'm like, okay, the two people that look dope is Wonder Woman and fucking Aquaman.
Right.
How does Superman look gay as fuck? Batman is whatever.
Right.
There's I have a lot of problems with those movies.
it's the new
But here's what it is. No, here's what it is. They retconned Aquaman in like the 90s because it was basically on some like, all right, we know this character's whack type shit, and they tried to make him a badass, and it was like I didn't follow it too tough, but I've read some of them and it was kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like he has like a fucking hook hand and he's
Throwing sharks at motherfuckers and shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty tight. But
Kinda bad.
the thing,
Throwing a
right.
shark,
But that's the only.
like essentially having a gun
to
that
me,
shoots sharks.
That's the only way that
That's
they
terrifying.
can do Aquaman, though.
Yeah.
Because if he's whack as fuck,
Yeah.
And he's just
be able
like,
to build a movie out of. That's the only way they could do it is by making him badass.
This like muscular alcoholic
Right,
that's like
because-
chugging like a
right,
fifth like
right.
whiskey and like a wave crashes behind him. I'm just like, I'm fucking in.
because didn't motherfucking Vinny Chase and Entourage play Aquaman in this
Yes.
show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the joke.
So that's how it's either gonna look like that, like Vinny Chase, or Khal Drogo from fucking Game of Thrones. But that's to me that's the only way Aquaman will work. I don't know, dude. I just hope it's good, but
Wonder Woman looks pretty tough.
what to me,
This is
Batman and Wonder Woman were the best thing about the shit show that was Batman versus Superman, in my opinion. That's the best thing that DC has going in their universe, and they got to focus on that
funny,
because
I talked with my Lyft driver earlier today about this. I'm like, did you like Batman vs Superman? Because he was like a comic book buff. And every comic book buff defends that movie because they want that movie to do good because it's like such a good book. And they're like, I was entertained, and like I agree, I was also entertained during the movie, and it was entertaining. It was really crazy, but it was just so like much.
Yeah.
So heavy, you know.
it's because I kind of like when I first saw it, I was like, I try to defend it, but it's just really easy to pick apart. There's just so many things that to me should have been no-brainers that they just didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing with those type of movies. It's like
When we talked about you were saying like how it just seems like like multiple storylines.
It's like they basically what DC did is they have to play catch up with Marvel, so they just throw all the darts at the board.
Like we have to establish everybody right.
Right. Marvel has like almost 15 movies. Like it might even be that but like in their whole universe. You feel me? And they just tried to like throw everything in there. They should have. It's just too rushed because the only movie they had before that was Man of Steel. That's one movie, and then it's like everything. The Dark Knight Returns,
I
Justice
love Man
League.
of Steel,
Me too. I love, dude.
And I think Superman is a fucking fag, dude. Like,
Dude,
it's not
Man of
Superman
Steel,
at all.
I fucked with. I really like Man of Steel, which is weird because like, I don't know. Zack Snyder to me is good for the cinematography of it, but
Hell yeah.
they need
Yes, yeah, he did 300 at Watchmen.
They just
Worked
need
on Watchmen.
Yeah. So it's like.
You don't fuck with
no.
Watchmen?
No, I said I worked on Watchmen.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What did you do on it?
Some face replacement.
That's tight.
Yeah, but the company I worked at,
amazing.
Yeah, I actually like that movie a lot.
I fuck with Watchmen too. I definitely fuck with
The
Watchmen.
JFK scene in the beginning, we did that. I didn't work on that scene. I did some other fucking stupid ass shit. But and then I worked on Batman vs Superman too.
Really?
Yeah, I can't say what I did.
Okay.
But I told you earlier, or it was my Lyft driver that I was talking to about it. But I think
Are you gonna tell your Lyft driver?
you know what the fuck I did. I've told you both before what I did on this movie, but I can't tell anybody because the studio didn't tell the person that I worked on what we did to him. So it's like a whole ND. Yep, you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Yeah, so.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all the the Zack Snyder movie, or maybe there's another one.
That's like special effect rate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah, I remember, dude. I want those movies to be good. So I'm like I fuck with DC. Like I'm a big Marvel. Like when I was a kid, I was big into Marvel and DC, but I really fuck with DC.
Same here.
And they have such dope characters.
I just don't understand how they make the characters that are lame as living fuck awesome, and the characters that are awesome suck dick.
That's hella true.
Wolverine has always sucked fucking cock. Besides
The solo movies were not.
they're terrible. I worked on one of them
were
too.
not dope.
It was fucking
But I
horrible.
do want to see Logan. I heard Logan.
Yeah, I heard Logan was good.
Yep. I want to watch that. But yeah,
Which I'm really surprised by. I was like,
those
man.
solo movies were not good.
They just need to get rid of fucking Hugh Jackman, dog. He is like I get it. He can fucking grow mutton chops. He's not Wolverine just because he can grow the facial hair. You know, the body types are different in my opinion. I feel like Wolverine needs to be like a short, stocky dude. You know.
Sure.
Well, the shit that fool's played it. I think first X-Men was 2000. That's a long time. That's almost 20 years.
Hasn't it been since the first?
Yeah, X-Men. I think X-Men 1 was 2000, and that's the movie that really set off the whole new wave of all this
The
shit.
first class X-Men, I thought Wolverine was really good in. I liked that one.
I liked First Class.
Yeah.
I liked First Class, and I liked Days of Future Past. Not as, but.
Wait, no. I'm talking about Days of Future Past. First Class I never saw.
He's in it, but it's a really short scene.
I didn't see the last one, the one with Apocalypse either. I loved how they try to make the poster out to be fucking some sexist ass shit. It's like, dudes, they're fighting.
She's
Yeah, it's like this is like a misogynistic thing, which it's like I'm totally I am definitely left leaning, sort of on the borderline feminism role, but I'm like, dude, they're two superheroes.
Yeah.
They're fighting. It's like
They're mutants.
yeah,
Right.
they ain't human.
This is somebody getting beat up by their abusive boyfriend. She can change into his mother if she wants to. And Apocalypse
Beat his
is
ass with a belt.
supposed to be the most powerful mutant ever. He could turn her into matter if he wanted. You know.
And he's like, I'm just gonna choke her up a little.
Yeah.
That seems chivalrous to me. That,
Yeah.
But what it was, so it was Days of Future Past, right? That was the good one, which
Days
I'm
of Future Past
surprised
was
was
dope.
good because Bryan Singer directed that, and
Yeah.
Bryan Singer is fucking trash. He's a
Yeah.
fucking horrible director and a fucking
Yeah.
piece of shit human. Beyond
Yeah.
that,
Doesn't he have allegations of
molestation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about that.
And sodomy.
Yeah. Well, the Superman movie he did was fucking terrible.
Oh yeah,
Superman
Superman
Returns, that was
Returns.
so boring.
Fucking
oh,
horrible,
with the
man.
old boy,
He
right?
doesn't
With
fight anybody in that movie.
Yeah, he just
doesn't fight anybody.
floats up to the stars and stares out.
Gets a plane and moves an
punches
island.
somebody in the
and
throat.
It's like, fuck, dude. People.
that was the first
Yeah.
big
Yeah, it
Superman.
returns,
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like a homage to fucking
And-
old Superman movies.
Yeah.
It was fucking boring. Kevin Spacey was good as Lex Luthor. That's about it.
Yeah.
That movie
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
What'd you think about Lex Luthor in the next?
That was my probably least favorite thing about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And besides the jumbled plot that's...
I was kind of disappointed they threw him Doomsday haphazardly. It's like, dude, really? That's it's like, oh, this is my example of Batman versus Superman. It's like, oh, we lay out a tortilla, then we put a pepperoni pizza inside the tortilla, and you think that's all? We deep fry both of them and then put it into a race car, light that on fire. Kick it off the Grand Canyon and then come all over it.
That is amazing. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, probably in the inverse order. But
Yeah. That's crazy.
And then we eat the tortilla.
yeah, then we go out to lunch, brunch, endless mimosas.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, too, is a lot of like, because you always hear about like the studios fucking with it and shit, and it's like Marvel has their own studio, and all these movies are it's starting to all change. Fucking Martin Scorsese and Will Smith's next movie are gonna come out on Netflix, bro. This shit's, I think you're gonna see a lot more of that. You're gonna see
that is okay.
Well, the Scorsese's not. No, it's not. The Scorsese one's not announced. It does. The Scorsese one's not announced, but it's supposedly the one that he's trying to do with Pacino and De Niro and Joe Pesci is gonna get put out through Netflix.
Okay.
But that Will Smith one is David Ayer. It's actually the dude who did Suicide Squad.
That's Netflix's first movie.
Yeah, and that shit looks tight. And I think you're gonna see more and more of that, like bigger directors and bigger movies just getting put out.
Like the film.
It's like how music changed. It's the same thing with movies because they have to fight the digital shit. Like,
but theaters are never going away, man. Feature films, it's always because you can't replicate the theater experience in your home, no matter how hard you try. And there's nothing parallel with music, unfortunately, with that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I don't think
like
it's
the
gonna
live
go
show.
away.
Yeah,
because you can't beat that. I still love to watch movies in the theater. Yeah. But I just think you're just gonna see more of like the new age of like independent internet shit. Like just seems like bigger people and companies are doing that. You know what I mean? Like,
honestly, like I worked on features for 10 years. Yeah. Like, and recently all I've done is Netflix series.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I worked on Lemony Snicket's, and then I worked on like Daredevil and like fucking.
Really? I like Daredevil. I thought that was a great series.
Yeah, it's so funny, man.
Sick.
Because when you're working on something, like doing the effects for it, I can't tell if it's gonna be good or not. I thought Daredevil was gonna be really bad. Yeah. I was like, this is gonna be fucking trash.
How much of it do you see ahead of time?
I see like the scenes I'm working on. Right. You know, I see like, okay, that's what's happening, so I can like put the continuity and blah blah blah. Right. But I feel like there was something else that we worked on that I was like, this is gonna fucking suck dick, and it was like actually awesome. Maybe it was Daredevil. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. Like you have no idea. But yeah, it's just like the influx of that series, like Netflix owning episodic work. You know. Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It's like visual SoundCloud or you know, YouTube for movies and series type shit. Yeah.
Well, everything's just so much easier to put out these days that it's only right that, you know, that it's gonna adapt to that, because fucking everything can be put out at the click of a button globally. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what changed everything for everything, and not even just like movies or music. Everything, you know? Yeah. That was a crazy change. It kind of ties back to what you're talking about like the analog to digital transition. Like that's been a crazy thing to witness too. You know what I mean? Like that shit's crazy. Yeah. But
have you seen Get Out?
No, I want to though. I want to. I've been hearing it's dope. I definitely want to. Yeah. Yeah. That and Logan are like the two ones that are like on my list to see.
Same here. Yeah. Yeah, and I actually fucking hate watching movies because I sit behind a screen all day. Right, yeah. But this is the first time in a really long time that there's multiple movies I want to see in the theaters. Yeah. I want to see Get Out, I want to see Logan, and I want to see Kong.
I want to see that shit too.
Yeah. So no, I've like.
Is that shit out already?
No, next week.
The trailers for it have looked sick though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Dude, it's gonna suck. It's gonna it's gonna suck dick, but I'm still gonna be like, oh cool, King Kong. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Hey, what was it, Inglourious Bastards, where homie breaks down like on some like subtext of King Kong shit, like relating it to like Africans, like journey to America type shit. Remember like the scene, it's Inglourious Bastards, right? Where it's like the Germans or whatever, and they're playing the like the game with the shit on the forehead or whatever, and he goes off. I'm like, that was like deep. I'm like, that was a deep ass little.
Funny story about Inglourious Bastards. When I was working on it, I shoulder checked Quentin Tarantino. Really? I never told you guys this story? No. Oh man. Okay. So I was working on Inglourious Bastards, and at some company. I won't name it. You know, I'm always like, when I do VFX, I'm always like the douchebag. You know, I'm like, oh, I fucking lift weights. I fucking don't care about VFX. I'm no nerd. Like, let's get this straight. I ain't no fucking nerd, okay?
I don't care about your ISOs.
ISOs and your mouses.
Shredder in the ball. I like it.
So, anyways, there was like a bunch of people there that I did not fuck with at all. world, and I was generally like bitter when I was like walking around. I fucking hated everybody, and like, yeah, I'm just a piece of shit. Like, don't hire me, essentially. Please don't. Please don't. I don't care.
Get out of my
yeah, exactly. Yeah, what? You want to fucking do something I don't like for a living? Fuck you. Anyways, I'm walking down the hallway, and I would see like these like 3D nerds in the hallway all the time, and they're like out of shit.
3D nerds.
Yeah, they're like.
That's the term.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, these 3D.
Oh, okay, man. Yeah, okay. Well, what I do is called 2D. I do compositing, and that's 2D.
Fucking
3D
2D. You fucking 2D old school ass.
Yeah, word analog shit. So I see this fool, and I think like he's just a CG guy. And there's like a thin hallway in the machine room that goes to the bathroom. I'm trying to go to the bathroom, and he's not moving, like to get out of my way. And I'm just like, and first of all,
give him a fucking swirly. I say 2D, and I take a shot of Jaeger. And I fucking leave. And that's how we do. And then I shoulder check Quentin Tarantino. What?
Anyways,
what else do you want to know?
I'm walking down the hallway, and he's not fucking moving, and I just fucking walk through him because I'm like, you're fucking you're not moving. Fuck you, dog. And then like it's like I'm dramatizing. I'm definitely like fucking blowing this way out of proportion. It was probably like I've grazed him lightly, and I'm like, yeah, I fucking shoulder checked him. But anyways, I fucking bumped into him, and he's like, oh, sorry, and he apologized to me. And then I looked at him, realized who it was, and I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry. I like told him. And then all the producers like, what you doing? Like, what? You know what the fuck it is? Fuck you, get back to your fucking desk. I gotta go poop. Fuck you.
I don't care what you did. Yeah. I don't care how good Pulp Fiction is.
Yeah, and I apologized and went on my way, but I always thought that was so funny.
It's like John.
That's really funny.
It's like John Mulaney, I think, in one of his stand-up bits was talking about how much, basically like self-deprecating about how much of like a pussy he was, and he's like, you know, you could do this, like you know, like in that same scenario, you could fucking da-da-da-da, and I would apologize to you after. I'm sorry, but it's like the same case. Quentin Tarantino, what up?
Why is Quentin Tarantino never named for like the most legendary director?
I don't know. He's Tarantino is absolutely.
It's almost lightweight niche. I feel like what he's done, even though it's like cult-ish. I feel like even though like it's unquestionable that he.
Tarantino's
feel like maybe
ratio might be the best though, because like good to kind of whack, even though it's all subjective.
All right,
like,
so wait.
This is.
Did he do True Romance?
He wrote True Romance.
Okay, he didn't direct.
No,
though.
he didn't. He wrote.
So what are his movies? Inglourious Bastards.
Well,
I mean,
he wrote direct for.
Let's just start from the beginning.
Just what he directed.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's two that he wrote that he didn't
Reservoir
direct.
Dogs was his first.
Reservoir
right?
Dogs was the first. The only ones he didn't direct that he was fucked with was Dusk Till Dawn, which he wrote, and True Romance. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown.
Yeah. Those are Jack.
First three?
Yeah,
no, the first two to come out?
Yeah,
Reservoir Dogs
and
and
then Dusk Till Dawn was
Pulp
after
Fiction.
that. And then
He did 8, so that's 4.
what was the next movie that he did after that?
Kill Bill 1 and 2?
Probably, yeah. Kill Bill.
Yeah, no, Kill Bill 1 and 2 and Glorious Bastards, then
Which
Hateful
are
Eight.
crazy.
That's 8.
Yeah, and then Django and Hateful Eight.
Oh, wait. So, see, he didn't direct Dusk Till Dawn.
No.
Okay.
I think that was Robert Rodriguez. But he wrote
Man,
it.
he does.
But because he did Grindhouse, because he did Grindhouse with Robert Rodriguez too,
Grindhouse.
where they each wrote one of them,
And then there was one. Remember, there was that other movie too, but
with Death Proof and whatever, Planet Terror.
Where
Or
4
whatever.
directors directed the.
Machete.
No,
No,
it's
I
called like
know
The
what
Room or
you're
something like that. It's with
talking
Tim
about.
Roth, where he works at a hotel, and it's like the 4 parts are done by different directors.
I remember hearing about that. I don't know if
The movie's cool. I don't kind of really remember it, but Tarantino's track record is really good.
That's kind of funny.
I don't know why. I mean, I think maybe because maybe.
Because you can argue that Pulp Fiction is like a classic. That is like.
I think you have a harder time arguing it.
One of the better movies.
But the thing is, like, whenever you say like, "What's a good movie?" That's never like the first. I'm always like, 2001: Space Odyssey, Citizen Kane, blah blah blah. You know, I'm never like Pulp Fiction. You know?
Right.
One of my go-tos is like a Goodfellas.
Scorsese's gonna be. I mean, he's in that.
All right, so this is why I bring it up, because we were talking about this earlier. I was talking about to Greg earlier that if you're a director making 2 movies that are considered good films, you are a successful director because of how hard it is. Yeah. And I feel like Christopher Nolan has never made a bad movie. I feel like he hasn't made a bad movie. And I feel like there is nobody like that until you just prove that. I think Quentin Tarantino is actually like that too. I don't think he's ever made a bad movie either.
There's movies that I don't. The only one that I don't fuck with as much as the other ones is Death Proof and Grindhouse. Like,
really? I thought those were dope.
To me, it's like, but his name is just attached to that.
Yeah. That's Robert Rodriguez, I think.
Didn't he direct one and Robert Rodriguez direct
yeah. Or did he write one? I know they went in half on it, essentially. Yeah.
He did one. I don't remember which one.
I think so, too.
He did one.
I think he did Death Proof, and Robert Rodriguez did Planet Terror, I think. Because Robert Rodriguez was in Planet Terror, like a.
That was just like an homage to like.
And then did Robert Rodriguez do Machete after that? Yes. That was right. Okay. Great movie.
Christopher Nolan's track record is amazing. Even that very first movie he did, the black and white one, The Following. Yes. You ever seen that?
I don't think I have.
It's like an hour long. It's an easy watch. It's really good. It's black and white, and it's his first movie.
It's about a guy that's addicted to following people.
It's tight. It's dope.
Really, really
and you know what the thing about Following is too, is because I didn't watch Following until maybe like after. Before Batman Begins, or no, around the time of The Prestige, because The Prestige is one of my favorite movies. I love that fucking movie.
My girlfriend, we were just talking about this. My girlfriend didn't like The Prestige.
That movie's so fire.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
But the thing about Following though is, having seen like a good chunk of his work at that time, you see how. Like, because it's a really simple movie, but you can see the things that Christopher Nolan does in his movies in this movie. There's just little things where I'm like, oh, okay, I see how his style's developed, and it's kind of cool to see that. Following is dope.
Yeah.
And you know what's an underrated one of his is Insomnia. With Pacino
and Robin Williams.
That movie's tight, dude.
As the bad guy? Robin Williams is the bad guy?
Insomnia is a good movie. And that's probably maybe arguably the weakest one. If you want to count Following or Insomnia. And even then, that's a dope-ass fucking movie.
Yeah. You say did Memento as well?
Yeah.
I remember that was one of the first, like, trippy movies when I was... Like I feel like starting to appreciate, and I, like because my mom loved that movie and I seen it. I'm
crazy.
Like,
my brother put me on it.
I want to watch movies like that. Like that's a head, like
so good.
Yeah, I fuck with that movie tough. I love Memento.
Yeah, Nolan's awesome. Yeah, we're talking about that just because to think about like if you were to think about even like music you guys make, it's like to think about every song you like, think about that, like every song you put out, there might be some songs that you're like, it's cool,
right?
It's okay. Right. I know there's like things I edit, battles I put out, events I do, then I'm like, it's what it is,
right?
But for somebody like Nolan, there's not that. There's never like it is what it is. It's like, no, this is a good movie. Prestige, good movie. Following, good movie. Memento, good movie. Some may like even call them classics. Yeah.
Like Jay-Z's like discography. Yeah. There might be a song, but I almost relate a song to a scene or something, but like an album is a movie.
Yeah.
And he probably has, arguably, we've talked about this in hip hop, probably the best discography that you can pull from as far as vastness over the time span, and we're not even getting into units sold, but like what's the weakest link you could think? Kingdom Come, and that was tight. Actually, like you can name so many.
That album's fire.
I know, but what's the weak link?
Maybe. But is it whack? Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's still in his heyday.
But Nolan's consistency is good, and even with when someone could argue about like The Dark Knight Rises, no matter what holes you can get in that, it's not because it's not a good movie. It's just because they didn't do this like the comics or this. It's still a fucking tight ass movie.
Yeah.
I fuck with Nolan a lot. He's really good.
Yeah.
I want to see that new movie he has. It's like
done.
Yeah, like the fuck, I forget. I don't know the title of it.
Dunkirk or something like that.
The little trailer,
it's about
the teaser,
in World War II when they were trying to escape France and go to England, and they were trying to something like that.
They rescued a bunch of people.
Yeah, the British civilians rescued a bunch of soldiers and took the men on boats. Yeah.
Dunkirk.
Yeah.